Hello. Hello, hello, hello. Just a few seconds. I'm finishing some setup. Some setup of the webcam. There are a few things to do. Okay. Okay. Calibrate. Yes. Okay, it's working fine. It's working fine. Okay, let me go live. Go live. Go live. Let me see if we can. Here I am. Hello, people. Good evening and welcome to another development stream of Plane Shift. Believe it or not, the first MMO that was free in existence. Yeah, we were the first free MMO. To my knowledge, at least. If you have other information, let me know. We have a screenshot of the day of the entrance of one of the caves in the Bronze Door area. Consider all these screenshots are of the previous engine, so they are a bit outdated in graphics, but the new one is better. But we didn't take new screenshot of every location yet, but we will. We have some new Patreons. I think I need to update the goal. Let me check. Let me go to Patreon and let me see. We are 45. Yes, we are back to 45. So thank you, whoever joined. I think it's someone that joined back actually. So I'm going to update the Patreon goal from 44 to 45. Yeah, I'm updating it manually because I don't know if there is an automatic way, but anyway, who cares? We can update it manually and that's easy. So today we are going to work on a feature that was actually available in the old game, but is not available in Unreal, which is the server ping or the server status. Actually, I did quite some work on it already, and so I would say that should not be too hard to finish. But let's see. So the idea is that when you start the game, and you are in the login window, you should have a sort of indication of all the available servers and the status of those servers. By the way, let me send the message to a guy that was potentially working on it. I think I found a way. Yes, so what is the server status mission? Actually, in the old game, maybe we can take a screenshot of the old game. Why not? Why not? Why not? Why not? Why not, people? So if I launch the old client, PS client. Now, there was also an indication of the ping, right? Now, I think the indication of the ping is not very relevant. I mean, it can be relevant if we really have like 5 servers to choose and, we want to, and the player can select one of the many servers to connect, right? But as you can see, there is only one server available here in the list, and it is the old client, okay? So I think what I want to do, I want to take a screenshot of this, right? And put it in our mission. Now, there are a few more states in the old game. So the old game was also capable of PS legacy. The old game was also capable of checking if the server was loading. It was loading or down or up, you know, on a certain phase of the loading. So, and also it was able to display the ping. So this 45 is actually the ping. Now, again, I don't think that the ping is super important for us because I mean, yes, you can say, oh, is 200 ping, but if you only have one server to choose, you know, it's not an information that helps you a lot. And yeah, it will be quite some time before we have multiple servers, if ever. So I think that we don't need the ping. Now, what is the architecture of the server status? So there are two possibilities. I'm just giving you a bit of a background because I know that someone is watching these lives maybe after the fact, and they know that at the beginning and at the end I'm kind of summarizing, and so maybe they will skip through until this point and listen to what I have to say. So there are two possible methods, right? One method is to somehow try to connect to the Unreal server before login, okay? To actually get a response, you know, to get a response. Now, this thing, I have to say, I tried a bit and I didn't know exactly how to do it. And I know there is an online subsystem in Unreal Engine you could call, but it seems to be quite complex, you know, to access, because all the information that you get from the server is usually after the login, after you establish, you know, that first login, which is basically an open level for Unreal, is an open level command that basically brings you into a map. In fact, our login page, believe it or not, but is a level. I mean, it's a 3D level, it's basically completely empty. So if you remove this screen, you will see on the background that there is actually a 3D space, right? Completely black. And this one is just overimposed on top of it, right? This is because Unreal Engine needs a level or an area, you know, a 3D level to actually be in, to have your player be in to actually properly function. So that is the way it is. So, but the problem is that obviously if you're starting to log in, then we will have to log in into the server to discover the ping and to discover if it's up. I mean, it's not exactly what we want. So basically this one, at the moment I ruled it out. Okay, I said no, it's not possible, we're not gonna do it. Now the second method, which is a bit more let's say is not simpler, but is a bit more complex if you want from the architecture point of view, but is simpler to implement, is just to call an HTTP page, right? So just to call a web page on the server which is reporting the status and is then parsed into the client. So basically the idea here is to read a web page written regularly by the server, which has, I mean, with the status, with the server status information, right? So that's basically the thing. And this is the one that I started to implement, and I think I went pretty forward, you know. I mean, it's basically working, but there are some pieces missing. So to implement this one, basically what we need to do, we need two different components. One component is on the client and one component is on the server. The component, maybe let's start with the server actually. So the component on the server is the component on the server is just something that is writing a txt file or whatever it is. Yeah, I would say a txt file in a specific directory that is available through the web server, and so it can be called with a kind of an HTTP, you know, HTTPS or HTTP, whatever kind of call, right? Yeah. So we need this. And then, so on the server, we just need to write this file. So we need to make this available, and we need to write this file with a date. Basically, writing the date where the server has been active the last time. So every time the server is up, it should regularly write this file and saying, yes, I'm up, yes, I'm up, yes, I'm up, right? So write the file regularly. I don't know how often. I don't know, can be every 10 seconds. I don't know, can be every 10 seconds. The only annoying part is that we are accessing the file system. That's kind of annoying. That's very annoying. That's very annoying because it means that we actually need to write a file, which is usually the slowest operation, you know, in a server. Even if, you know, these days, pretty much every hard disk is an SSD, and so, I mean, that argument is not really critical anymore, right? But let me just check if I have everything. Ah, yes, I switched the scene already. Okay. By the way, hello Sean, hello Hula, hello Tony, welcome, welcome, welcome also to all the other people that are there. Hello. So the server is going to write this file every 10 seconds and with a date, right? With a date, a very simple date. Now, if we want, we can also add additional information, like, I don't know, the number of users or things like that. We actually already have a file that is dedicated to that in our server report. So we have a function. We have a function in our server which is, I think, is called server report or server status. Yeah, server status. We have this thing right here, which is already writing down an XML. And so I think that this same mechanics can be used also for the uptime. Right, we will look at it in a second, but basically, yes, I think we can use this server status to write that information. And then, just thinking if we should use the same file or not, then I have no idea. But let's see. Then we need on the client to associate to each of the servers that are available a structure which contains the server name, the server address, the port, but also the status page. So where I need to get this status page, which can be a simple, you know, which can be a simple web page, right? Under status.txt, right? Which writes down, you know, a date. Exactly like this, right? So, but then the client will have to check that file, understand if it's different from the current date or not, and determine based on the date if the server is actually up or down, right? Because so if the last time that the server has been seen up was I don't know, 1 hour ago, then obviously the server is down. If the last time the server was seen up was 10 seconds ago, then probably the server is up, So I think that the only disadvantage of this method is that we need to rely on the time. So, and we need to say, yes, if the server was up 10 seconds ago, then it means that it's up, right? But then maybe it's already down. So let's say that the second solution has a bit of a delay, as a delay of a few seconds, and so the player may see it with a few second delay, but I think it's overall fine. Okay, I was drinking. So to implement this solution, so basically this one has to associate to each server a URL to call and a URL to call, and then it needs to call the URL, get the date, and then implement, you know, the logic for up down status, right? So this is basically what he has to do, and then he has to display somehow on the UI, display the status on the UI and keep it updated regularly, right? Display the status and keep it updated. Okay, so basically the client will have to continuously poll the server. We'll have to continuously ask to the server if it's up or down, right? So it is a continuous cycle somehow, right? Every, I don't know, every 10 seconds, every 5 seconds, at least when you are in the login page. Then when you are no more in the login page, you can disconnect, right? And he has to do it for all the servers that are available. Hello, Marcel. So I hope you got the context and also why we need to do it. I think that I really want to do it because at the moment people are starting the client and are seeing, you know, the server, but they don't know if the server is up or down, and also they don't know if it's their connection or the server is really down, when was the last time the server was up. So they have no information, right? They have no information on what is going on, and I think that's very frustrating, right? Obviously this will require their internet connection to be up and their web browser, let's say the HTTP to be available. So if there is anything that is blocking outgoing connections for that particular process, which is the PlanShift client, obviously we may have an issue, but that unfortunately we cannot easily detect, so that will have to be managed by them, right? Okay, so what is the good news? The good news is that I already did quite some work on this, and I think I'm pretty far ahead. In fact, I managed to find a component or a class, which is this one, which is file downloader. Okay, file downloader, which is a class that is was made by a guy, and he made it available on the internet, which was basically downloading a file into a directory. Now, in our case, it's very different. So it's not that we need to download a file into a directory, but still we need to download the file and then read the result, right? And this is what I did. So we are downloading the file, we are starting the polling, so the continuous request, and then based on the result, we send out to the client the information of what is going on, right? So the result of that, so for now I'm simulating it with a fake file, right? And also I place some temporary icons just to show that the server is up or down. So the idea is that I have this file, right, which is status.txt, which is sitting on my PC, and I can change it. So I can put the only problem is that this date is in UTC time zone. That is important because the client and the server may not have the same time zone, right? And so I need both machines to reason on the same time zone, otherwise the logic will not work, right? So I need them to work on the same time zone. So at the moment it is in UTC, which is I think 2 hours behind me, right? I think so. UTC time 1957. Yes, it's 2 hours. It's 2 hours behind. So so if you want to simulate that the server is up, right, the server will write this file, and at the moment it will have to write down exactly 1957. So if he says 1957 or whatever, 1958 or 9 or anything that is you know newer than now or is very close to now, then our client will see it up, right? So if I launch the client now, I already did the change. And I had to modify the way the server list is working, and I had to modify the way the server structure is sent from the server to the client, because I'm incorporating additional information like the status page. And as soon as it's up, it's taking a bit of time, but should be fine. I don't know what it's doing, but okay. He decided to have a bit of a suspense, you know, like I don't know what the hell it's doing. Okay. Boom. So you have these icons, which at the moment are a bit maybe too evident, but you have these icons which are showing up, and in the background, as you can see, we are checking the 3 servers every, I think, 5 seconds. So from the first server we get a date. So we got this date, June 12, 1, 8, whatever. From here we get June 22, 7:58 p.m. And for the third one we get a complete failure. So the system is failing because the URL cannot be called, right? Now, I don't know exactly why. Considering I did 58, because it's more than 10 seconds. It took him too much time to start. But if I change the file, right? Very simply, I change the file. I go from 19 to 20, and I go to 2001, and I save it. Yeah, you see this one turned green. So and now in theory the server is supposed to write this file continuously and update this time continuously, but now obviously it's not doing it. So as soon as we reach 150 or 2, right, this thing will turn red again, because this is the last time we saw that server active, and as long as the last time we saw the server active is close to the time of this moment, then we consider is up, right? Which is not exactly true in all the cases, but still, I think can be you know, a good information. So let's see what happens now. In theory, at 60, yeah, you see it turned red because this file has not been updated, and is too old, right? If I change the date, like the server should continuously write down, and it is, it becomes green, right? So I think it's working fairly well. The only problem will be that considering the server has about 5 minutes or 3 minutes, 4 minutes to come up, there may be a time that you still see it red, but in reality is loading, right? In the old server, we had the ability to know if the server was loading or not. Potentially we can do that. Potentially we can add, you know, a loading or something like that at the end, and do the same reasoning on the time. So if it's taking too much time to load, we will consider it down. But I mean, for now I don't want to make it too complex. Okay, I just want to provide the information. Now the other thing that you will see is that if you mouse over, now this tooltip is not the best, but if you mouse over, you can see the last time that the server was seen online, and this thing refreshes. So yes, the tooltip is changing. So like last seen June 22 at 8:02 p.m. right? This at the moment is in UTC time, which I think can be a bit confusing to the player. So maybe we can reconvert. Yeah, the best would be to reconvert that time into the local time. I think there is is possible to do that. So we need to convert UTC time to current time zone, and we need to see using the given time zone. Default is the local time zone. Now I don't know if this would work, but potentially we can try. Because I think it would be best if the player sees his own time zone, right? And also we may change now these icons, which are a bit brutal at the moment, or make them smaller. Actually they should be round, but for some reason they are not round. They're getting stretched. They're getting stretched for the wall. I don't know why they're getting stretched. I have no idea, because the original icons are square. But here it seems that they are getting stretched. It's a bit weird, huh? Because in theory the icon is like this, so it's perfectly round. It's gray at the beginning, and then it becomes green. By the way, the image is different. The image size is slightly different between the different buttons. Yeah, button gray is a different size. No, I think it changed it only now that I 50 by 50. I think I decided to put it at 50, but so it should be round like this. I have no idea why is I have no idea why it's stretching. I have no idea why stretching, because let me try to put, just as an example, our server list inside of this and see what happens. Yeah, you see that here is perfectly round. That's kind of strange. That's kind of strange. Because it goes in percentage. Okay, now I think I understand. I think I understand. So depending on how big is the text. This thing stays anyway at 10%. No, this is not a good idea. This is not a good idea. Can we remove the grid? Let me try to change the grid into just the canvas panel. And then having this guy, be always, on the right side. No, with the canvas I cannot do it. With the canvas I cannot do it. Because the concept of the alignment, no. But if I make two cells, wait, no, I think the grid was okay. The grid was okay. I just need, let me go back. The grid was okay. I think I just need to make this one 1 and this one 0. Yes, I did it already. So if you put the second cell at 0, it's basically using the dimension that the actual component has. And so I don't know why I don't see the text here, but there is some reason why I don't see the text. But in theory now it should be better. Let's put a bit of music since we can. By the way, guys, how are you? Is everything okay? How is it going? Okay. So let's try again just to see if at least now I don't know if we are going to keep exactly those icons. I want maybe a bit more of a fantasy looking icons, so if you have anyone you want to suggest, that would be good. Also, I don't think I like too much the tooltip. I think the tooltip is too small, it's very hard to read. Okay, now they are not stretched anymore. At least that. They seems a bit too big. Potentially we can make them smaller. The only problem is that, can I reduce it from here? Yes, I think I can. I think they're a bit too invasive now. Visually annoying. They're a bit too busy. Maybe I can make them even. Now I made it 10% less, but I think, well, actually 20% less. But I think I can probably do it even. Yeah, it is already better. It's already better. Last seen online. Okay, let me try to convert the last seen online to my time zone and fuck, I left with that server there, which I should remove it. There is no, the problem is not this. The problem is I can keep that server here, it's no problem. The problem is the fact that I added in the login window one element just for fun, just to see if it was working, and so now that's a valid server for the game. I think the size is a bit better. Okay. Now, consider at the moment we are using a fake file, right? And we want to change this. You see the one was gray, it took a bit, and then when we got the timeout, it became red, right? I think in terms of size is okay. We can change the icon color, maybe make it golden on the side, I don't know, making it similar to the other controls, but I think it's not too bad. It's not too bad. No, I wanted to convert the date and see if we can put it in our time zone. Let me think where I'm displaying that. I'm displaying that here. So this one is for the server down, that one is for the server up, and why they don't stick to the same position? And this one is when the server status is unknown. So when you don't get any information because basically the server is not answering, and so you have no way to know if it's up or down, right? That is this case. Okay. Now the server may be up and you may have the last seen information, but also the server may be down and you have the last seen information, right? Or the server status may be unknown, and so in that case you also the last seen is unknown. Basically you couldn't fetch the file, right, from the server, and so yeah, you cannot type a date. Okay, let me try to change this last seen online. So last seen online is as daytime. Now the comparison should be done in UTC, so we will do all the comparisons in UTC, right, so that we are sure that we are not messing up. But then after we did this comparison in UTC, we can actually display, so the last seen online, so this guy basically needs to become as date and time from UTC. Okay, so this, they said that if you don't put the time zone, it will automatically get your time zone. I don't know if this is true, but we will see very soon. And so this one we will put it into last seen online. Okay, so this will be the last time we saw the server up. Okay, let me try like this and see if this is actually doing something. So in theory, now we should see, instead of 20:04:02, we should see 22:02, because it will convert it to my time zone. Hello, Phoenix. Welcome. You want to fight me? Look at this. Okay, it seems to work because it's saying 10:02 p.m. Okay, so at least it is in your time zone now, right? Which is nice. I don't like this tooltip. I think this tooltip is very bad. We should probably make a widget just for the tooltip. But also, unfortunately, it goes away when it gets refreshed. So if I keep my mouse on it, the tooltip goes away because this thing is refreshed. Right? Maybe what we can say, can I show the tooltip manually after I updated it? Ah, yes, but we don't know where the mouse is. I cannot display them all. No, I think it's not a good idea. Okay, so this is good. This is good. It kind of works, and also displaying my time zone, which is nice. Now, what we want to do, there are two things. One, we need the server to actually populate that file. And second, maybe we improve a bit the tooltip, because as it is, it looks very bad. Do we have another tooltip? Let me check if we have other tooltip, because I remember we did... we have a tooltip small, but I think this is too small. We have a tooltip item, which is this thing, which is too big. And we have a tooltip ability. In theory we could use this one, but I don't know if it's too big. I mean, it's not bad because it's using our font, but... should we copy this one and just change it? I don't know. Tooltip ability. Because I'm not very happy about that tooltip. It's kind of annoying. Let me try. If it looks bad, we will remove it. So I'm creating a W tooltip server, which is a copy of that one. And we will put it under main menu because it's used only for the main menu. And we're gonna change it. Okay, so this one will be last seen online, and here I think we can have this text smaller though. I think it can be 16, and this one below is anyway 16. Or 14. It seems to be constrained by the size. Seems to be constrained by the size of the top. I don't know why. And also it seems to have a lot of padding on the side. And this thing is word wrapping, but it's okay. Okay, let me try to use this. Now, we need to check which function he has. He has 0 functions. Okay, GG. So basically, we just take this field and we update it, which I guess is the only variable. Yes, text description. Let's call it txt description, which is a bit more clean. And yes. Okay, now to associate a tooltip to a control, I think you do it when you create it. So I think that, or maybe we can even do it, directly from here. Tooltip text, tooltip widget. Bind, create binding. I don't understand exactly the create binding, but why bind? I don't want to bind. I want to just. But anyway, we can do it by programmatically, which is easier. So when we create this thing, so basically in the construct, we can take image status. And we can do set tooltip widget. I think it should be doable. Yes. And we associate to this tooltip widget our new tooltip. Why not? It must be a variable. What the fuck? Wait a second. We do this already. I did it already. I just don't remember. But we did it already, like in many places. Why is not working? Wait a second. Win option. Scalability. Cell tooltip. Yes. Set tooltip widget. Because I need to create it. Yes. Is a specific instance. So I need to create here the what? I need to create a widget, which in this case will be tooltip server. And then I need to set it this way. And now, this is the initial setup, but this initial setup will last, so I don't have to do it again. And then I will just set the actual tooltip. Right? And when we set the tooltip, we have to do I think we need to cast it, but we can also set it as a variable here. Let's set it as a variable. Tooltip, which is cleaner. Tooltip widget. It doesn't like tooltip widget because it probably already exists. Okay, for whatever reason. So we can do this. We can set it after we created it, and then here we can just retrieve it, so I don't have to do it again. Right? And on this one we will set TXT description. Okay. No. We will get TXT description and then we will set the text on TXT description. Exactly, boys. Ah, that is what we wanted, huh? This is what we wanted. Okay, let me see if it works or does something. Now, I don't know if this is a bit disruptive to that image because the login is all green and this thing is kind of, you know, metal or marble. I don't know. Maybe it's not very nice to see on top of that window, but it's not too bad. I just need to remove the last seen online from the text because now it's like duplicated, right? So I need to remove the last seen online from here because the last seen online will go, right? So I think I can just do this and this. And this. Okay. Then we will remove a bit of the printouts because now there are a million printouts, but it's okay. By the way, guys, if you're new to the stream and you want to know more, don't feel shy. Don't be shy. Just say hello. Make yourself known. Ask your questions. Also, if you are working on a real engine and you want to, you know, let me know what you are doing with Unreal Engine. That is nice as well. Okay. So we have our thing. Now, I'm not completely happy about this icon, but I think we can. But at least the last seen online is pretty cool. Last seen online, 22 of June 2021 at 10 p.m. Right? This one is last seen online unknown, and this one is last seen online unknown. The reason is that those two has never been, I mean, never answered to our query. Maybe I can make a bit of a border on the last seen online so it looks nicer. So I will make, we'll have a padding on this left and right, again I think of 8 or so. So that, you know, there is a minimum, or even 10. So even when it just says unknown, you can see the thing. Okay. Yeah, it's a bit better. Okay. Now I think that the people will be interested in this information. So when the server was last up, and okay, let me try just to turn it green to see if it works, but I think it does. By the way, if I put like 23, so if I put tomorrow, the thing will still work. This thing will go green. Yes, you see. I think it's okay. I think it's okay. Okay, now the job is not done because we need to do all the server side. Because this is assuming that someone is writing this file properly, right? And at the moment, I'm writing this file manually, while we want our server to be able to write that file. So where to do it, where to do it, where to do it. So the first problem that we have is that the server is sitting in a directory, but the web may be sitting in a completely different directory. So we need anyway the status page to be somehow configured, right? So where to write the file. Now I think we have something like that. I think we have something like that in the current server status. So this server status config server config. So this one is reading this config, right? Yes. So we need another variable which will be status file or something like that. Status file. The problem of status file is that it needs to be relative to the server location. Can the server write in those directories? I think it should be able to. I think it should be able to. So for example, the problem is that it may even be another drive, right? So for example, in my case, the server is running here under PS Unreal, right? But the actual file, the actual directory where we have the web server is for example now is here, is so it's completely another drive and whatever. So we need anyway to specify. I think in this case it's better to specify the full path and not just, you know, a relative path compared to where we are with the executable. I think it's much easier. So in my case will be something like this, which, considering it may have a space, I don't know if I need to put it in brackets. I mean in quotes. Do you put in quotes the stuff that has spaces usually in the configs, or? I mean, it looks like we have quotes here. Unfortunately, it's not a good example, but I would assume yes. I would assume yes. So in theory, just a second, 1 second. Okay. No, I wanted to say yes, that we can put it in brackets. and this will be status.txt. Right? Okay. Now we need to have this status file mapped to a variable in our server status reporting guy. So we can say that is the file written by the server to report the app down status to clients, right? And so this will be a string and will be a uProperty config. Basically this thing, uProperty config, is telling the engine that it needs to go and search when this class is getting initialized in the config file for a property named status file, and then put the value into it. So it's very handy. I think this config system is pretty good. It's very handy. Still need to understand a bit better how to override and those values at runtime, but so in a packaged game, let's say. But apart from that, it looks pretty good. Okay, so now what? Now that we have this in the config, we need to check. There is also report rate. Do we want to have a variable defining the report rate, or do we want to say that is always 10 seconds and fuck it? I don't know. I don't know. I think yeah, we can put it. Status file rate, okay, will be 10 seconds. I mean, why not? It's just a variable. I mean, it's not that these variables are costing us anything, so it's fine. Now, this report rate should be a float, yes. Status file rate. So that is the time. Let's say the same as this. Interval in second to generate a status file. Okay. Now we go inside server status, and I want to check how this works for the rest. There is a trigger event. Okay, we created a trigger event. So I think we need to create another trigger event. UPS server status run event. Yeah, it's a UPS game event. Okay. So this is an event. I'm thinking if we can reuse the same or we need a new one, but I think we need a new one. We cannot use exactly the same class because there are some differences in the variable that you need to access and other stuff. So the problem is that it's already called server status, which is pretty annoying. Let's call it server online, okay? Server online event. Server online run event or report event. I don't know. Let's say server online. Now, the only thing we need to configure, yes, the delay ticks. So this will be identical. The trigger will be identical. Now, this stuff is not really needed. We don't need any of that. We just need the trigger. And the trigger will do the job, right? And then we need to start. We need to start this server online run event pretty much the same way. Let me see how we do it, but I think everyone is scheduling the next one. Schedule next run, yes. Report manager, schedule next run. So report NPC. It can also be enabled or disabled. That's interesting. Do we want to enable or disable this? No, I think it should always be enabled. I think it should always be enabled. Let's just call it online so that we remember. In theory, we should change the name of this one, but so basically, as soon as the server, yeah, that's the other question. When we want this guy to actually be activated, at the moment, is activated as soon as the server status initialized is activated, which I think in our sequence of events is happening a bit at the end. Yes, here, start report manager. So I think it's okay. So it's basically nearly at the end of the loading. I think it's okay. In theory, we could place a file that is just saying like loading, but at the moment, I don't think it's very interesting. I remember this line. This line costed me a lot of time, boys. A lot of time. This particular line was because basically every object in Unreal needs to be valid and associated to an existing and living object, otherwise it gets removed automatically and garbage collected. So okay. So yeah, now this is happening pretty much at the end, but I think it's fine. I think it's fine. So we schedule the next online run. So we will start our new, whatever we called it, our new, UPS server online run event. Seems that we like long names. So we do this, and then we just set the report rate to be the report online rate, right? We called it status file rate. Fuck. We are mixing status and okay. We are mixing a bit the names here, but it's okay. And then we push it into the event manager, which will be responsible of executing it at the right time, right? Okay. Now, what do we need to do? We need to implement the trigger, because at the moment we have the trigger only for the other event, right? But we also need the trigger for this event. So my suggestion is to put it kind of around here. So before the server status, and we will have our UPS online, right? This thing, trigger. And this one will do, I mean, something similar to what we do here. Maybe let me just copy the whole thing and then we will see. But current time. Are we already printing the current time? Yeah, we are. So basically we'll be printing it twice. But it's okay because they can have different, I mean, these two files have different purposes. So in theory I could have read this file, but this file contains important information like player stats, mobs burst, sold out, which doesn't mean that we really want to expose fully to players, right? So, so I think it's fine. Okay, so of this one we will take the, what was that? No. We get a current time. Now this get current time is a bit risky because I mean we can test it, but we need to be sure that we are getting it in UTC now time, right? Now if I could do, wait, if I could do the same thing that I do in the file downloader. No, if I could do the same thing that I do in the this one, UTC now. Yeah, I need to call that one because so is exactly the same method that we are calling, you know, on the client. So it's inside Keys math library, so I think it can be called directly without a context object, hopefully. There should be inside of here a UTC now. Yeah, which by the way at the end is only F date and time UTC now, huh? So maybe we can just call this then, which is simpler. Because I don't like too much going in this time function, because then the formatting and everything is a bit of a pain, you know. Get carrying UTC time in the readable format. So we do F time date UTC now, and then the way I format it, I think there is a toString of this. There is S date and time. But I don't think he's on this thing. No. There is probably a toString of this. Yeah, there is a toString, but return the string representation of this date using the default format. Ah, okay, perfect. Exactly what we want. Okay, so if I do this to string, okay, this is basically returning the string that we need to write down into the file. Okay, so all of this we don't need because it was for the other thing. And then we just need to write down the file. If you use fpath project dir plus report manager report file, it will generate corrupted file names. Okay, don't do it. So what are we doing here? We are doing file helper save string to file, report string, which for us will be this. Right, so we don't need any of that, by the way. So I copied a huge function just to make it 3 lines, but okay. It helped me to, you know, reason through it. So file helper, save string to file, this string, yes, to report manager, report file full path. Now, report file full path for us is this thing. Report manager, report file, it doesn't like it. It says that it's not usable. Why is not usable? That's interesting. Because it's project dir which was fucked up? I remember this thing. I remember this problem that he haunted me for quite some time. Because in theory, I should just do, but it is a string, right? So I have a string in my thingy. So I think it should be okay. Our string is status file. Right? Report manager, use server status, use server status. Now, why report man? Wait a second. Yes. The count, what do we use the count for? I don't remember. No idea. But we don't use it here. And then we schedule the next online run, right? We schedule the next online run, which is this thing. Now schedule next online run. We didn't declare it. Is a void whatever. I think the schedule next online run is doing, as we said, the it's interesting that Visual Studio is asking for time to do that. Yeah, it's doing the push of the event, so basically okay. Okay, let me recompile like this and see what we get. And see what we get. New game. No, new in-game. Are there any new games, new free games in the store? It's some time I don't check. I played a bit of Trackmania. It's very, very nice. The problem is that it requires a controller. I don't think you can play it without controller. Overcooked 2. I think I got it already. Yeah, it's in library. Never tried it, but I think I never played those games that I get. But anyway. Hello, boys. Are you alive or not? You're very quiet today. You should keep the chat alive. Keep the chat alive. Keep the chat alive. Are you happy about the last round of bans that they did on Twitch? Very happy about that. They did some good cleanup. Is building. Is Builderinos. Look at this. Building 20 action, 12 processes. But it's using only one processor as usual. One processor is at 100%. And this one is very lazy, it's doing nothing. The new motherboard should arrive at the end of this week. So hopefully I will be able to build the new PC. And we should be able to speed up the compilation time. Okay, it compiled, so should we debug it? Maybe we can debug it, but basically what I'm expecting is that it's saving. We can maybe debug it and stop when it's writing the file. So basically here, okay, and see what happens. Basically this file should change if we did it right. This file should change. Should change as soon as the wait, I'm debugging the client because I had some issue on I had some issue on the client, and so I decided to debug the client. But now we will change it, and we are going to debug the server. Okay. Let's try it again. I think we can afford the little avatars. I think we can. Because we are not doing too much, you know, 3D intensive stuff at the moment, so I think I can. We are on Twitch, huh? Okay. Let's connect it on Twitch. Boom. Here you are, boys. Here you are. In theory, that trigger should trigger when everything is loaded up. Strange didn't trigger yet. Yeah, it didn't finish loading, I think. I think it's still loading. No? Yes. Yeah, it's loading the main map. Uh-oh. He's not calling it or what? I don't know where we are in the loading phases, but... Ah, okay. Okay, this one we can remove. So it's loading the NPC, finish loading the NPC. And now... Ah, there it is, save file. Okay, the string is correct. The status file, I hope, is correct. Let's see what happens. In theory, there are some debugs on, but in theory, this file has been changed. Yes, it works. At least it looks like it works. And he wrote 2104, which is actually correct because it's in UTC time. Okay. So it seems that the server writer is working as expected. There are 6 people on Twitch, they don't talk much, yes. But it's okay, I mean, if people just want to watch, it's fine with me. Maybe they don't have anything to say, you know, at the moment. Or they are multitasking, they are playing video games and watching me with the back of their brain, with the side of their eyes, which I do also very often. So I'm doing something and maybe I have a stream open, you know, just for just to follow a bit. Okay, so our server is continuously writing that file. Now it should be writing it like every... Ah, okay, yes, we didn't specify the time. Status file rate. Okay, this is not correct, or it is. Yeah, it is. So it should be every 10 seconds. Let's see, 210601. So the next one should be 11, or very close to 11. 11. Okay, perfect. And then the next one should be 21 and so on, okay? So basically 21. Okay, perfect. So the file is getting updated. So now we can test from the point of view of the player. From the point of view of the player, what happens? Well, what happens is that the player is going to open the client, and And he sees the server online, last seen online 22 of July 11:07:22. So the player is going to check his time and say, he was up, you know, 8 seconds ago. And then he's checking it again and saying 07:32. So the player will go like, this thing is updating. Every 10 seconds. Look at that. This thing is updating every 10 seconds. 52. By the way, with a custom tooltip, it's not disappearing anymore, which is very, very nice. It's very nice. Okay. So now we are going to stop the survey. Now we're going to stop the survey. Like this. And on the client, we will see that it was updated last time at 0812. And then we are waiting. Boom, it's down already. Wow. Perfect. 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 And here it's saying that the last time that it was seen online was at 11:08:12. Now, if I close the client 11:08:12 and I open it again, you should say exactly the same, right? Because my file is pointing to that. Yes, 0812. Okay, perfect. So I think it's working. So now let's try to turn on the server and see what happens. So I'm launching the server without debug mode, just the normal way. So at the moment, you will still see that the server was last seen online 11:08:12, which is okay. And you are waiting. Yes, you don't have the loading. You don't have the loading information, but there is something that maybe we can add, but at the moment it's not so high priority, I would say. Boom! And he's up. Last seen online 11:10, 11 p.m. Perfect, boys. This thing is working. This thing is working. And I will take a screenshot. I will take a screenshot and put it. Where do you want me to put it? You want me to put it on Patreon? I can put it on Patreon as well. Why not? I can put it on Patreon. Why not? The problem is this bad text that we have here, but cannot really remove it. Nice, nice, nice. Okay, so it works. We did. I think we did everything I wanted on this one. Now, you didn't see all the work that I did, you know, behind the line, behind the curtains, so to say, but so you can say, oh, this was very easy, but actually it costed me quite some time in multiple sessions to actually reach this stage. But hello, Ray Mari. Hello, hello. Just lurking a bit, and end of productive day. Really nice to see an MMO built in EU4. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, let me save this screenshot and put it somewhere in our temp directory or whatever. Let me put it here. How do I access the window? The window clipboard, the window thing. Windows snip tool, snippet thingy. Fuck. I mean, if I press it again, it will appear, but there must be a key or something. I don't know. Okay, I can do this. I can do this, which is easy. Crop, save. Save as PNG, we go under PS stamp and we load it, okay? PS stamp 2. And we say server online status. Easy. Then we go here, we say post, new post. Sorry, I'm on another screen, but don't worry. And we say image. And we say upload. And we go in this directory. And we say boom. And we say, is the server online? I just added the ability to see if the server is online and also when it was seen online the last time. Yay! Yay! Okay, done. Done, boys. Okay. This was a kind of a long-standing problem, at least in Unreal. Obviously, in PlaneShift Legacy, you had this already, so it was not an issue. But in Unreal, it was a kind of a annoying thing, right? And now we have it. Nice. Now, I think that with the remaining of the time that we have, I think it would be nice to work a bit on the new area. I think only you that are here will see it, right? And no one else will know it, because the people will go like, oh, it's a server status stream, so I'm not gonna watch it. But we can open the new area. But before doing that, let me just do a check-in of all of this, because we did a lot of changes and I don't want to lose it. I think I will do a massive check-in of all the files. So we need to upload default server config. I don't think so. Ah, yes, because the one that we changed now. So I need to put it in, because these values I will have to change them. Right, I will have to change them. Also, the server list, I want to change it, because there is a new piece which is called status page, right? Which is needed. And yeah, so these two I need to check in. Player control need to check in. Character we need to check in. The skeleton? No, did we modify the skeleton? Uh-oh. We modified the animation blueprint, huh? I don't remember for what, but I assumed that if we modified it, we modified it. We modified the animation blueprint. I fixed some materials, they were broken. Ah, yes, because this check-in is not... I'm not checking in data since some days, actually. Fixed some missing textures and wrong items, yes. Then I fixed a very old problem. Fixed an old problem with our windows where the resides icon was misplaced. Actually, it's not exactly true, but because it's the other way around. The window was misplaced, but the result was that then I fixed some problems, icon sizes, the icon sizes in the spellbook, which were wrong. Then I added the server status report file and the client display in the login window. Then I fixed all collision assets for the new bronze doors area, which are all these pieces. I tried to fix something here for the swim, but I don't know if it really worked. But, fixed swim. Swim is still broken anyway. Swim is broken. Fixed character movement values when you exit from swim and go back to walk. But it's not really working, unfortunately. I think new project, I need to check it in because I added a new plugin, or no. Cascade to Niagara converter, no, it's not needed. This one I don't need. This one I don't need. This one I need because I changed some. I updated some coordinates. Yes, I updated bronze door inside coordinates. So fixed item position for bronze door inside, and then why? Yeah, I think all the rest I need to check in because these are all C++ files. NPC manager. And then I added tribes. We didn't do the check-in for tribes, so but we didn't add the files. Wait a second, source NPC client. All these files need to be added. All these files need to be added. Fuck, I need to refresh. Shit. Not refreshing it, huh? Crap. Okay. Yeah, we were missing a bunch of files. So basically, default engine no, and Iliacum no, and everything else yes. Okay. Okay, let me try again. Default engine no, Iliacum no, and everything else yes. Unreal project no, shipping client no. Okay, and let me just check if I did other changes. We did some fixes on the containers, huh? But it was a small fix, so it's okay. The major piece is the addition of tribes. And also we fixed some conversion to centimeters. Yeah. So we add the tribes. And then we fixed some conversion from meters to centimeters in the path. In the path logic, in the paths, whatever. Okay, so I think we can do the check-in. There's a bunch of stuff, huh? We are checking in 72 files. So it's really a bunch of stuff. I don't remember this change to animation blueprint, but I think it's okay. If you see that something is broken, I will revert. Nice. Okay. Okay, now we can take a look at the new area. That, by the way, I think I also need to modify, because at the moment is not the best. But let me try to show it to you. Because I think it's a bit too busy. And again, if you are a Patreon, you have seen it already, I think last week, because I posted a screenshot on Patreon. Let me just see if we have the map at the moment or not. Probably not. No, we don't have it. Okay, so I will download it. So the map is Bronze Door Eagle, right? Yes, it is. Okay, so we got it. Now we need a way to teleport there. Considering I have no NPC. I think we need to get it from the I'm thinking, yeah, I need to get it from the editor. That's the only possibility, because I will have to somehow teleport there, and so I need to know the coordinates. I think we need to change it a bit, because at the moment it's a bit too busy. And also he has some escape routes which are not correct, so they are basically ending in nothingness, so you can just jump down and fall down forever. Okay, so let's open the map. This is the beginning. This is the beginning of a very new area, right? Because it will be the stone labyrinth area. They will go on for quite some time. So maybe let's teleport, you know, where this guy is, where this thing is, which at the end is probably here in the middle. Okay, it's the same. So let's take the position of this guy, and this would be the location we need to go to. I can put it wherever. I can put it here. I don't need this. So this would be the location. where we need to teleport to reach it. I think we can probably create a teleport command that is just teleporting us to a specific map, and like in the middle of it. I think would be probably simpler. But this is the command I need to use now to teleport myself there. Okay, let's start the server and the client in normal mode. I don't need NPC, so I think we can avoid loading NPC, so we speed up a bit the loading. So if I go under default server config, I think we can say repopulate items false, false, false. So we don't load anything, and we start our server and our client. By the way, I want to make a new release. I think I will make the new release in the next 2 days or so. I think I did a lot of changes and fixes, and I think it's good to put them on, so to give you the new release. There are not a lot of additions per se, but there are a lot of bug fixing, and I think that we are getting closer and closer. How nice is to see if the server is up. We're getting closer and closer, you know, to finally moving to Unreal. And so I think I want to go through a set of bug fixes. You see that now I see that it's green and I can connect. Ah, how refreshing. How refreshing. But I need some of you guys, huh? I need some of you to actually help me to test, because I cannot do everything myself, so I need you to... What the fuck? The server went down, boys. It crashed? I think it crashed. Okay, the server crashed. GG! GG! Why it crashed? NPC client reaction. Because I didn't load the NPC, and so yeah, but it should absolutely not crash, huh? Okay, that's a good test anyway, because it seems there is something that is not working as expected. Reaction, so NPC behave 425. Let me see. NPC behave 425. Oops. Check all reactions. We are on the NPC type. So it seems that there is one reaction which is for some reason valid and loaded. That is strange. Should not happen, because we didn't load the NPC, so in theory the brains should also be all disabled. But it seems that some brains, some NPC types are on, and some reactions are still getting triggered. Probably because I said, probably because in this config file there is also NPC brain tick, you see, an NPC brain tick through, but in theory it should immediately fail if it doesn't find the character associated to the brain. Okay, let's go in one more level. Is inside the reaction 234. Is inside the reaction 234. Who get actor is alive? Mistakes were made, huh? Mistakes were made because obviously in this case get actor is returning an empty value. I'm just wondering why NPC brain is up. I mean, he's trying to react to stuff. But anyway, it is an easy fix. We can just say if get actor is valid and is alive, right? Or react when dead. I don't know if we have other cases. Because I'm thinking, you know, that maybe I need to stop this earlier. Right? So meaning, if we know anyway that we don't have an NPC associated, I think this one is the NPC, the NPC brain tick, probably. It is the NPC manager tick. NPC manager tick 942. Let me check 1 second this thing because I think it may happen again. NPC manager 942. Yeah, he's actually inside the tribes. Because the tribes are advancing. The tribes are advancing anyway. Okay. No, I think we can fix the who. This one, we can fix this one. I don't know how many other cases there will be. Probably not that many. But so we can say if who get actor and who get actor is alive, right? Or react when dead, not. There is a not here at the beginning. It's a bit annoying, but I think it's okay. It's the one that is fucking up all my logic. This thing are the ones that are really confusing my brain. When you have a boolean like this, and then you have a not at the beginning, it's confusing my brain so much. I'm like going like in loops to understand what it's doing. I don't know why, but it's just how my brain works. It doesn't work in those cases. But basically we are saying that he should or be alive or be able to react when dead, and the opposite of that. Okay, I don't know. I cannot think of that. But our fix is good. Our fix is just ensuring that get actor is valid when we are checking if that actor is alive. So I think that we didn't change the logic, so it should be fine. And the server is down. Yes. Okay, let me recompile. So I think we can close this, and we didn't change anything, man. Why wants me to save? Okay, let's recompile this and we see if it doesn't crash. In theory, it should not crash. Maybe we crash in another place, but yeah, because you know why? Because the tribes, in theory, can work also if they have no members yet. So a tribe could start from 0 members, and then it could start to spawn NPC, right? Yeah, if he has enough resources. And so it is why the brain of the tribe is ticking anyway. Even if we disable the NPC. Okay, one succeeded. So let me start it again. So now we can just wait to see this going green instead of like we were doing before, checking the server and looking at the log and trying to understand, you know. You say now it's green. So nice. Also, it seems that our fix worked because the server didn't crash, at least. Didn't crash up to now. Okay, we are in. I need to remember to disable this thing before I release, otherwise you will see all this pink stuff. I have to remember that. Yes, the one that I fixed that you didn't see is this resides button. You see, this resides was a bit fucked up in the previous version, mainly with the chat. If you were trying to draw the chat after a certain point, you would see only the resides button going down, but the chat was not resizing with it, while now it is. It was very complex. If any one of you is interested to know why, I can explain you why, but if not, I will go without. But it's really a problem in the UI part that usually you are not used to. What is our thingy? Here. Are you ready to see the new area? Are you ready? I mean, it's not a full new area, but anyway, I still have to understand why we have these black parts, but I have no idea what these black parts are. It happens only in certain buildings. I think this white is too white anyway. Should find a way to make it less white. Okay, so this area, you know, is the bronze door area. We call it this way because this is the end of the map, right? Where usually our map was ending. But now, surprise, surprise, you can go after this area. And in particular, there is an area like this, with a wheel which is rotating a bit too fast. Maybe we should slow it down. But there is a completely new area, right? This is the bronze doors from the back, the bronze door building, let's say, from the back. And yes, you can go here. I don't understand why we have these black areas like this. I have no idea. I think it's the shader that we apply to buildings somehow. I don't know. And here there is a fairly big mechanism, you know, on top, which is a kind of a line that, as you can see, I mean, it's not very easy to see from this point of view. Maybe it was better to see it from top. And thanks to Zway for the work that he did on this part, because it's all his job. I just did some little fixes. Oh my god, I'm getting scared of the height. But yes, so there is this bridge, let's call it, and there are these big mechanisms, which in theory should rotate. I will make them rotate, which are connected to the rock, and then as you can see, this cable is going forward until it reaches the actual bronze doors, right? These are the actual bronze doors, which in theory, what is that thingy? No, wait, fuck, what is that? It's the active magic window, which in theory should be closed, and it will be closed, but you can go through. No, I knew it, this would happen. I knew it. Okay. At the moment there is a building here on the left where I don't know yet what we will place, but in theory, and there is also a bit of a bug here, but okay. This should be like a barracks kind of building for the guards to stay in, and then here you are crossing the bridge that basically brings you inside the stone labyrinths. And here there is a bit of the river with the thing is, right? Yeah, there is a big lever here. I think this lever is the lever that we should use to open the gates. Is it? Or is this one for the bridge? I think this one is probably for the bridge. Ah, yes, this one is for the bridge. So we need the bridge to go up and down. I think it's possible because those pieces are actually, these pieces of the bridge are actually separate. So I need to do it in a way that you can. But anyway, here we are crossing the river. So this bridge should normally be up. The bridge should be up and the door should be closed. And then there should be a mechanism, two mechanisms. One that is allowing to put the bridge down. The only problem will be with the cable. What do we do with the cable? I think we can make it invisible maybe, but because the cable in theory should becomes, you know, shorter and shorter as this thing moves up. Also, I don't know if we have enough space. And then here there is the actual bronze door, right? There is the actual door. There is the actual door. They should be closed, always closed. Now it's open just because I want to go through, but this door should always be closed. Because inside there are the stone labyrinths and you are basically out of the civilization. So when you are here, you are completely out of the civilized area. There are some pterosaurs platforms there. I mean, I cannot bring you there easily, but basically if in the future you will be able to fly with a pterosaur, you will be able to reach those places. And these are in theory entrances, secondary entrances, right? But I think that only very small creatures will be allowed through. Yes, and then in theory there are smaller doors like this one. Which I don't even know if it's something that we can open today, but there are smaller doors that are, you know, so you can avoid opening the big doors and you can just have a normal person sneak into it. The bigger doors are opened only when we need to do transfer of materials. I mean, big transfer of materials between the stone labyrinths and the civilized areas. So this will happen kind of rarely, actually. But it could be an event, you know, that opens up those areas. And then here you have, yes, a lot of water. And we have this area in the middle. And we have some additional bridges that have been built. And basically the bridges, I think I would like to change this part not to be walkable. But these bridges are bringing you into the labyrinths. Now at the moment this area is a bit of a placeholder. This area is a bit of a placeholder, so don't really look at what we have here. But these kind of plants, you know, these kind of plants will be in the labyrinths. And also these kind of plants may provide ingredients, you know, or other stuff that you could use. Invalid sector. Fuck it. Okay, we don't have a sector here, so we cannot slide up. I cannot show you. Can I fly? Gravity. Because I added... yeah, it's not really working. I added a gravity off kind of thingy. So that basically you can walk in the air like this, but you cannot really push yourself up too much, so I need to fix it. This is for game masters in theory, for allowing them to fly, yes, like this, but it works so I mean, it seems that the initial push is kept, but then yeah, somehow I don't know, this gravity on and off, I need to fix it. Is working only partially. I don't know why sometimes with gravity off you can actually jump, other times not. I don't know exactly how that works. Okay, this is where I wanted to go, by the way. It is where I wanted to go. So these kind of big mushrooms, you know, will be now here there are really too many, okay, but it's just an example. And then from here you should be able to enter the labyrinths and start to explore, right? There will be strange plants like this one, strange mushrooms like this ones, other strange plants like this, right? Now the problem of the area is that he has a lot of exits. What is this thing? Holy shit. It looks so weird. What is it? It looks so weird. Yes, the problem is that now all the exits like this are basically going nowhere. Okay, so these exits are open and you can just jump down and suicide. And there are many of them, but this in theory is the start of the next level, of the next area, right? And there are quite a bit of them. There is one there, one here, a big one here. And they can go up, down, left, right, any places. There are these big minerals thingies. Look at this. Look at this, huh? Nice, huh? Nice. Okay, so yeah, this is what I wanted to show you. Now we need to build. I don't know if I want to build it now, but in theory we can. So in theory, from these areas, I need to close this place because I don't like that you can go from the side. But from this place, right, you could go places. The light of God is upon us. But yeah, this is all underground, right? This is all underground, boys. I think it's a very nice area. I like it. Just need to be fixed and made with a purpose, you know. I want to have the doors open and close based on the mechanism, so we will have a mechanism somewhere that you can enable. They probably will be available only in an area where players at the beginning will not be able to go. So I think I need to put... I probably need to put... Yay! Yay! I probably need to put in this area a kind of a blocking gate. I think we can have two mechanisms. We can have one mechanism inside this building, and the one inside this building I think will be the mechanisms for the doors, right? For the big doors. And this one will be closed to players, so players will not be able to go here. Maybe there will be one NPC at the back of it that you can speak with, and maybe there will be a quest where you can speak with the NPC and actually ask him to open the gates. Or just open the side door. By the way, the side door I think is... where the hell is it? Because the side door is only on the inside, but we need a side door also on the outside somehow. Is it here on the side of this? Yes. Okay. So maybe we can have the doors, the big doors, always closed. Right? The big doors always closed. And having the NPC giving you a pass to open this one. And then go forward, because actually this one is connected, you know, on the other side. Yeah, these doors are insane. They're super big. You see? So you can exit from here. Okay? As a player. And then you can go and investigate. An adventure. An adventure as much as you want. Now if I jump down, I think I will... I mean, the water doesn't exist here because I didn't place it. So here you are actually into nothingness, but in theory all of this should be a water body. So you will swim into it. So if you want, I think you can swim through. That could be a problem though, huh? Because if you swim below it... Yes, you can go through. There is a problem. Do we allow monsters to swim through? Because you see that there are these big spikes which are actually made so that monster they want to go through will get hurt or anyway will die if the monster is very big. But the problem is that I think we need to make this thing smaller. No? I think I need to add more lines and I mean more bars to this thing. Otherwise, I mean some aquatic creatures can just go through easy and can reach the real civilized world and expand and that would be a big issue, a very big issue. I think we need to close this gate somehow. I mean, I'm okay if a small creature goes through, like a creature as big as me now. I think I'm fine, but if a creature that is like 5 times me can go through, I think we can be in trouble. Good, the game needs more carrots. The mountain, the winch, the guild house per se, and now the labyrinth house. Yeah. Yeah, we will add more. We will add more stuff. Okay, in the future. Now, with Unreal Engine, I think we have the ability to add a lot more. It's just a matter of, you know, dedicating time to areas and not just to porting. At the moment, you know, so much of my time has been dedicated to the porting of the game. So much time, you have no idea. Well, you have idea because you follow my streams, right? But fucking Void Sector. Please contact PlaneShift support. Thank you. I will call PlaneShift support and ask. Because we are actually, because this area actually doesn't exist yet, so it's not mapped to anything. Now, all here will be all water, okay? At the moment I'm walking, but in reality, should be all water. Should be water. I'm gonna die. Boom. I got teleported here. Okay, boys. I think this is what I wanted to show you, and we did the server thingy, which is nice. So now there are actually doors. Now they're actually open, but this door you will always see closed, okay? So you see it open now, but you will never see it open again. So look at it now, that is open, because you will never see it open again. Or maybe yes, I don't know, but not in the short term, because I think I will close it, and I will let you go through that small door on the right. Maybe there can be some events, you know, like big squads that need to go through for whatever exploration or something else. They will require the doors to be opened. But these doors has been created to protect the civilized world from the creatures in the labyrinths, so they are as strong as possible. You think you can walk on the cable? I don't think you can go. I don't think you can reach the cable, but if you reach it, I think you can walk on it. The problem is how to reach it, because you need someone with a mount. But I think you could walk on the cable anyway. If you are able to reach it, you can walk on it. But you will arrive there, so you cannot anyway enter. And then yes, at the top you see those pterosaur platforms. Okay, boys, I think that's a ceremony like in King Kong. Yeah, something like that. I mean, you can open if you have to bring materials, right? So if you are building, if you want to build an outpost on the other side, and if you are establishing a new outpost, a new safe camp, I think you need to bring relatively big creatures with payloads. I mean, with, you know, I think it's designed this way. Like here you can have, maybe we can move this thing a bit to the left so that you have more space, but the idea is that you can have a very large cart. Yeah, I think we need to increase the size of this, because the idea is that you can have a large cart, you know, with goods that is going through this. Also here we have a problem, I think, in terms of size. I think this thing should be moved down at least 3 meters. I think that the width is okay, but the vertical size is not enough. No, with boats is not possible. No, with boat is not possible. But anyway, we need to find a way. I don't know if we can also open the grate, the iron gate, like this iron gate here. The problem is that the current, the waves are pretty strong here, so I think that no one would like to, you know, to row uphill, to row in this direction. So I think the best is really to enlarge a bit the passage. I mean, this passage is perfect. You know what we can do? We can put a platform. Yeah, that would be beautiful. We can put a moving platform from here, so that basically you can drop materials. You can drop materials over this ledge, and maybe these things can be opened. You know, there is some, they can be moving, and you have like a giant platform here at the bottom, like here where my mouse is, and then with a cable, the platform will come maybe here, and this will be open. So the platform will go up at this level, then it will go down and come forward to us, and here you can load all the goods into a very large cart of some kind, very large transport, and then you can have the transport go through, right? Only when the gates are open. Maybe, I don't know, we can think to something. There can be an event as well. We can have, the problem will be that I need to add, you know, some cables and mechanism and wheels here just to show this concept. Or you can just bring it through this and the cart will start from here, right? That's also possible. So you have a big cart here that goes through and you just bring the stuff one by one down here. The thing that is a bit stupid is that you go from down to up and then from up to down again. So it seems a bit overkill to bring materials into the labyrinth the way it is designed now, right? Because you have to go up and down, and every time again up and down, because, but this is the way it is. You see this area, you have to walk all the way. You have to walk all the way up with the materials, or down, depending if you are bringing them from the labyrinths. From the labyrinths down. Okay, boys. I think I'm gonna go. Thanks for watching. We will see each other tomorrow evening. I don't know yet what I will do, but I want to make the new alpha. I think we did a good fixes. We have this new area. Maybe a game master can do an event in this area. This was my idea. So it can be introduced to the people with an event. I just need to fix it a bit. So maybe tomorrow we will do that. I don't know. If you're new, please click on follow on Twitch and subscribe on YouTube. That would help us and doesn't cost you anything. But if you also want to help us a bit more, you can go to our Patreon site, which is patreon.com/planeshift. We have a goal of 50 Patreons. Would be very nice to reach it. At the moment we are at 45, and with Patreon you get access to the alpha of the game, and also you get access to some other stuff like videos and pictures and stuff that I post sometimes. Plus you get a specific tag in our Discord, and you get access to the supporters channel, and you will have my gratitude forever. Thank you, boys. Should we do a small raid? Let me see. Is there anyone on Twitch at the moment with Unreal Engine development? Yeah, there is Warka. We can go to Warka. Do you want to go to Warka? We can. Is developing an horror game. Is developing an horror game. So if you want to join the raid, you should go to this address that I'm typing in, which is our Twitch channel. So you can just click there, and then we're gonna raid this guy, meaning that he will see us, he will be happy, and we just bring the viewers there. Nice. See you, boys. Okay, now I'm really going. I said I'm gonna go, and then I spoke for another 10 minutes. Okay, sorry. Sorry. Bye-bye.